So it's okay. Hey, it's that block over there. Could you stop, please? I'm good
The year 2021 was a normal year for Jimmyrico. He started to adapt to the Cali life, you know, making friends, attending photo shoots. He was, I guess from my understanding, starting to adjust to the probability of actually never returning to Memphis, Tennessee. But like many people who chase their dreams, you just never know.
But did he know? After all, this wouldn't be his first time experiencing a setback.
In winter of 2006, Jimmy's mother was in Miami. Therefore, Jimmy had to survive on his own for the first time. With a history of unnecessary activities, he kind of leaned more into that activity.
An activity that Jimmy found reasons to justify.
Jimmy was hanging around a new group of people. It wasn't like the regular people in his neighborhood. There was some other people on the other side of the town, like South Memphis, and things got out of hand. And once things got out of hand, he decided that he was going to, I guess, take one of their cars, and he did.
Yes, Jimmy stole another car, but not only for joyriding, at least for now.
Jimmy was a in denial, loose cannon, so to say. He would spend hours at a time replaying unexpected scenarios he may encounter with his peers. Not that many scenarios came into his reality, but anxiety kept him on point with planning ahead, for the most part, which was his only thoughts at the time.
Did Jimmy have an alter ego?
Yeah, I used to be in my room as a teenager, playing not house, but I think I did. But now I played like the car, like Fast and the Furious, but it wasn't racing anything. It was just like a 4-wheeler. Me and crew, just cruising. I never got that. I guess I liked it cars so much, like 4Runners and stuff like that. It's a pack and stuff like that. I used to imagine it in my room when I spent the hours in them, and we would just cruise throughout the city. I have no idea. I had a paper map that I actually had. I forgot where I got it from, but I would look at the map and imagine that we just cruising throughout the road on the map. So, that was part of my time spending my time.
But is it possible that Jimmy's imagination invades his reality?
I don't think that he ever thought about the possibility of being incarcerated. He was always focused on escape plans, no matter the scenario. So to actually land himself in juvenile court for the first time, man, it took a main toll on him, bro.
Uh, my first juvenile experience was an experience unlike before, of course, that would be anybody who was locked up for the first time, especially as a teenager. It can be pretty, you got in trouble, but the fact that you're away and you're not in control of anything that's going on for the first time in your life. Well, you're not in control anyway because you're a child, but the fact that you know that you're not in control for a fact, like you can't eat, can't nobody come save you. You're there behind bars as a juvenile, as a kid. You can't see your mother when you want to. You can't see your father when you want to. For the first time, that can be devastating to some teenagers. A lot of teenagers take it and they just move forward and still do what they do. And a lot of people, it's a wake up call for the first time, and they get their life together because they realize at an early age that ain't what they want their reality to be like. It was kind of tough for me. It was, yeah, because that was my first time actually that I can recall that I actually cried out to God. My first time, and I was singing Yolanda Adams. Uh, what's the name of that song? Alone in the world, it's just me and you. So I need to talk to you. And I cried out, and I can imagine, like, because I wasn't just weeping with tears. I was actually like crying and weeping out loud. So I can imagine my peers hearing that, and didn't nobody say nothing when we came out to the day room one night. But still, like, it was pretty loud. So that's my first time actually reaching out to God in juvenile. That right there was my first time in juvenile court. That's where I was at in juvenile court. And it didn't, it was, they kind of renovated the parking lot, but that's exactly where I was over there. It was crazy. I didn't know what to think about it and whatnot. This car right here following me, I guess they made a U-turn. I don't know if they actually following me or not, but that's where I was in that building. And I guess they are. So we're going to see what's going to happen live. But they're going in there. But that was it. So put it back in here. I don't want to get in trouble. I think I'm in the parking lot. It's closed for administration today, so I don't want to look suspicious. The incident in there where, in the day room, when everybody go out and watch TV or whatnot, they had this rule at the time where it was no talking. You can't talk. You just sit in the day room all day and you just watch TV all day. And you in that chair all day watching TV. You can't talk. You're just there watching TV. And as a teenager, it's like, what? We snuck and talked every once in a while. And I did get caught one time. I got caught, and this officer came up and he smacked me in the back of my head. And then he took me to the, I don't know if I got smart or whatever, but he took me to the other side. I think the north side at the time. It was this sergeant. It was the sergeant who was over the north side. He was like a short fella, dark skinned, and he took me to into like the changing area. It was like it was a power trip going on for some reason, and the little dude smacked me. I was kind of cocky with my mouth at the time, so I can't remember if I did say something, but the sergeant smacked me or whatever, and I guess he was challenging me to actually to respond in a way where it would justify him manhandling me the way that they really wanted to. All this because I said I was talking in the day room. It could have that situation could have been stemmed for something else. Maybe some other juveniles was probably testing them, or no, they was tired. I don't know what the situation was, but everything that happened that time was uncalled for. That was my experience in juvenile. I did know somebody there. I forgot his name. I don't know if his name was Mr. Chapman or whatnot, but he knew my family from Scutterfield. Scutterfield was a project in North Memphis, pretty notorious for a lot of stuff. I think that although I had that experience in juvenile didn't stop me from coming to juvenile. And I think it was mainly because once you leave juvenile, you're not in the situation no more. And you don't think about the consequences that you suffered before, especially if it wasn't so, severe enough to where it impact um, your entire life. So I ended up going to juvenile again, this time from Raleigh, Egypt Elementary. Not elementary. Raleigh, Egypt Middle School. But I went to juvenile, and this time I didn't just, go home. I ended up going to Youth Rehabilitation Center, which, short is YHC, Youth Rehabilitation Center. This time I was going to an actual juvenile detention uh, center, like for time. But the only thing about this place was it wasn't no set time. Center where your progress and your behavior and stuff like that and throughout the program determines when you go home. So you can imagine how I didn't graduate the program officially, but I did end up leaving because I think I turned 18. There's a lot going on at YAC, including setting a room on fire at that place, and I also tried to do an escape attempt through the roof, but it was on Poplar and Dunlap at the time. How you doing? Yes, ma'am. Okay. It was quite an experience, you can imagine. That impacted my perspective on things, but not enough to shake me.
Jimmy in juvenile was, how can you say, not aware of his own problems. He had a lot of things going on without knowing that he had a lot of things going on. And it was kind of frustrating to everybody, including himself. Especially his mother, because his mother didn't raise him like that. So the fact that he was running around, bucking in school, getting all types of trouble, and kind of crazy. Especially if he wasn't brought up in a home like that, especially a single parent home.
If that is indeed true, what could have provoked Jimmy to behave in such manner?
Oh yeah, I know him. Like, he was a long time ago. I knew him, I knew him very well. Yeah, like, it's all good, bro. Yeah, it's good, bro. Nah, I don't want to be on camera, bro. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. I don't want to be on camera, bro.
I was, diagnosed with ADHD, learning disability, and Lord knows who else, in elementary school, because I kept getting kicked out of elementary school and daycare. There was a little, I remember his name, was it Dr. Jabor? Was his name Dr. Jabor? I don't know. But they just prescribed me Ritalin, all types of stuff when I was young. It ain't funny, but it was just crazy how it went. So they asked me why was I so terrible at a young age? Why was I, here and there? I can't explain it, but I know the reason why I was diagnosed with a disability, because my father, he was on drugs in the process of having me, making me, or whatever. He was on cocaine. So therefore, it kind of like gave me a chemical imbalance to, that gave me a slow start, yeah.
But a start is indeed a start. Like everyone who encounters life, it begins with a story. This is the story of Jimmyrico Pigram into Rise in Christ.